Nama saya Yoy Basuki, saya adalah Ketua Umum Indonesian Olympians Association. Saya berharap adik-adik para atlet Indonesia yang baru agar tetap berjuang dan sebanyak mungkin untuk menjadi seorang anggota Olympian juga. Jadi saya rasa buat adik-adik semangat terus dan mudah-mudahan bisa mencapai prestasi sesuai dengan mimpinya.
Nama saya Lukman Niode. Harapan kami, khususnya dari saya sebagai sekjen daripada Indonesian Olympians Association, dengan adanya yang kita lihat di sini ya, the second WOA secara Asia dan dalam Road to Asian Games ini mudah-mudahan dapat memberikan satu dampak yang sangat baik buat kita semuanya, terutama untuk masyarakat Olimpiade atau Olympian Indonesia sendiri.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller. I'm the CEO of the World Olympians Association. We're here in Jakarta for the second meeting of Asian Olympians Associations, and we're discussing how the associations can better help their members, their Olympians, and also how they can get their Olympians to help serve society, to do projects like helping fight obesity, getting young children involved in being active, and also working with disadvantaged people throughout their countries. We have 13 countries here. We're really looking forward to the meeting and very pleased to be here in Jakarta.
Saya bangga jadi Olympians.
Kami bangga jadi Olympian.
Olympian? Yes!
Olympian, yes.
Olympian? Yes!
Saya bangga jadi Olympian.
Olympian? Yes! Olympian? Yes! Olympian? Yes!
So at the end, we're going to ask for your feedback so that we can make sure that next time we do this, it's even better. But throughout today and tomorrow, if there's anything you'd like us to be doing, if there's anything you think we can be doing better, please tell us. It's informal, except for the formal bit, which is just about to happen. Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Me, that's 4, 5. Okay. So hopefully we may have improved a little bit from 4 years ago. Before we start, just a little bit of practical information. Pan American Games, much to his delight. Tony.
Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Ellen de Lima, Secretary General. I think this thanks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here in this moment in this room. On behalf of the World Olympians Association, President Joel Boussouf, and the Wadah Executive Committee, I would like to welcome you to the second Olympians Association meeting. As the Wadah Secretary General, it is my great pleasure to have you here, to have the opportunity to hear about the wonderful things and work you have done supporting Olympians along your different communities. During these several days of meetings, I look forward to work together with you so you can become a most powerful and good through Asia. But before we go any further, I would like to sincerely thank the Indonesian Olympians Association and the National Olympic Committee of Indonesia for hosting this event and making it possible. We are all here in a common purpose: to strengthen the ties that bring us together, to reinforce the values of Olympism, and to change the role we all make in making the world a better place to live. Being an Olympian brings us with a responsibility to act in the best interest of society through sports, and commitment to inspire future generations through the sharing of Olympic values. But as you all know, to do this as an Olympian means to encourage and support all strengths of our lives. Our mission as the World Olympians Association, by extension to National Olympians Association, is to be served to Olympians and empowering them in society in order to make a better world. I have no doubt that this meeting will provide the perfection and the perfect place in a perfect platform to address how we collectively can work together and in collaboration with our national Olympic committees and national Olympians associations to inspire Olympians to continue achieve their potential long after they have finished competing in elite sport. With back to the games in Asia, it is far to say that the region is the midst of unpredictable opportunities to advance the practice of Olympism in society and to leave a positive and lasting legacy for the future generations. It is up to us as Olympians to grasp this opportunity and to have the possibility to share Olympism throughout our society. I am proud to say that it's already being done. As we saw earlier this year, the hard work and dedication of Olympians in Korea has done during the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic Games, as we are seeing now on the road to Tokyo with the National Olympians Association and beyond to the Beijing 2022 Games. Why? Now, our first ever Continental Development Office will be based in Asia. We look forward to share more information with you regarding this pilot program that we are starting for the first time in Asia. There are 3 other WOA projects that will benefit directly to you as National Olympians Association that I would like to touch on briefly. Our OLY, post-nominal letter program provides recognition to Olympians from the hard work they have done, dedication and perseverance in the States. Today, over 10,000 Olympians have already signed up in our database to have the right to use the olah. First, Olympians, then our country and society. Thank you very much. Enjoy, and I wish you a pleasant stay. Thank you very much.
I just talk in Bahasa for all of the Indonesian Olympians. So I'm very happy to be here to meet all of you. And I apologize because at the same time, our Mr. President of Indonesia, Mr. Erick Thohir, he has been a meeting with Mr. President of Indonesia in the President Palace. So that's why I'm here on behalf of him. So we are very happy to have a program with the World Olympian as well. So I hope from this program, Olympian of Indonesia will have more program and then share with all of the athletes in Indonesia. So a big applause for the Olympian of Indonesia.
Wise, there's two parts. The first part is I want to just go ahead and mention representative of China here. Yeah, okay, good. Chinese Taipei, great. Hong Kong, good. India, of course. Indonesia, all under red attires. Japan, yeah. Malaysia,
Yep.
got it. Mongolia, okay. Olympians, we have about 274 Olympians so far since I think 1952 or 6. Kita mulai kapan sih? 52, 56? Lupa saya.
56.
56. I think we start in Olympic in 56, so approximately about 274 right now. But I think some of the older Olympians are maybe passed already. That we not. Started 52. But do we know how many been already passed away? Yeah, okay. But anyway, so this but 274 we're counting, and obviously looking forward for the 2020, and several from tennis, table tennis, athletic, diving, table tennis.
Great. Excellent, thank you very much. Right, the algorithm has chosen Singapore next.
I'm the Assistant Secretary General of Olympians Singapore, and our President is right there, Dr. Tan Liang. He represented Singapore in water polo in 1956. Our membership extends just to some of the big sports. Obviously, we are a tropical island nation. But this year we have our first Winter Olympian that is part of our membership as well. Yeah.
Excellent. And do you get good support from the government? Because the Singapore government is keen on sport, isn't it?
We have support from our National Olympic Council, Singapore National Olympic Council. They actually help us with secretarial duties, and they give us some seed funding for some projects. So what we do in Singapore is we've been helping a lot with school talks, inspiring the next generation of sports leaders. And we volunteer at the Olympic Museum, the Youth Olympic Museum, as part of the Legacy Program, and we helped hosted the first Youth Olympic Games in 2010.
Yeah, that was really exciting, wasn't it? Were there many Olympians involved in running the youth games?
Yeah, I guess so. It was quite a while ago. Yes, Olympians were involved in various parts. Like I was a liaison officer, and Dr. Tan is the vice president of SNOC, and there were some other Olympians as well involved in organizing committees.
Okay, great, excellent.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. representing from the World Olympian Association, representing from the other Asian countries and all the other Olympians and distinguished guests. On behalf of Sri Lanka Olympian Association, I am Shriyanu Kulavansha, the president of the SLO. The SLO was established in the year 2017. This was a vision of many Olympians in Sri Lanka after numerous meetings and the formulation of the constitution in line with the WOA. We held our inaugural AGM on the 15th July 2017. There are 96 Olympians in Sri Lanka from 1948 to 2016, of which only 67 are still alive. With the intention of bringing the Olympians of Sri Lanka together and discussing their issues and concerns in order to provide support whenever possible. Our future plans are as follows: to conduct events in commemoration of the Olympic Day, conduct and promote events that will augur in the promotion of the concept of Olympism, workshop for young emerging sportsmen, meeting and fellowship event amongst Olympians. To assist Olympians whenever the needs arises. We hope the SLO will go from strength to strength. On behalf of Sri Lankan Olympians, Ayubowan and thank you.
I'm very appreciated to speak and hears. Just a prepare for that. Okay, my name is Hana Ito. Call me Hana, right? So we know the flowers in Japanese, right? Okay. I am a former swimmer who represented in Japan at the Beijing Olympics and the London Olympics. It has been 5 years since I retired, and at that time has passed so quickly. You guys are retired already? Yeah. It has been too amazing. But in that time, which is a support of many people, and I have been able to build fruitful life after sports, but while remaining connected to it. And then I attained a master's degree in sports management and a PhD in sports psychology in 2017. Yeah, yeah, but so thank you. After getting my master's degrees, I started a career starting to Pilates instructor and television commentator, and a part-time teacher in university in Japan. So busy. And when I completed my PhD, I started working at the Tokyo Organizing Committee, Olympics, Committee of the Olympics and the Paralympics, in the Communications and Engagement Department. You're busy always. In Tokyo, we just celebrated 2 years to go until the opening of the Olympics Games, and this Saturday, it will be exactly 2 years to go until the Paralympics Games. And sorry. And where the game was sporting so quickly, and many things have begun happening. Volunteer recruitment will start next month, and our truly available mascots, Muraito and Someti, you know that name. And finally made their debut recently. Ticket go on sale next spring. Yes, already is coming up. So Tokyo 2020. Constructions of a new venue is going well, and many events are being held all over the Japan to engage to public in the games. At the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee, there are just under 2,000 staff right now, members currently employed. Only handful are three to work in the committee, but everyone is totally dedicated to making the Tokyo 2020 Games a success. Yes. But as an Olympian, I am committed to the success of Tokyo 2020 Games, but also to helping improve Japan's sports culture and ensuring in the service after 2020. Yes. Also, Olympians, I will continue to strive to elevate the value of sports and the value of athletes. It's not everybody used in sports in Japan. Yes, I am just finally. Yeah, finishing. Yeah, I'm truly honored to take part in time in an OCA gathering today. But as Minister Suzuki expressed his disappointment and apologies for not being able to attend. Sorry, but it's so very honored to come in here, and I'm very happy and see.
Actually, really excited and thrilled to be here among all of you. You guys are really amazing people, Olympian all over the world, Asia especially. I'm actually quite new with this Olympian Association, Malaysian Olympian Association. I am just part of the ESCO member since 2016, and we managed to do that 2016. And now slowly we're trying to be really effective as an organization, and I'm thrilled and happy to say that we already get a grant from the WOA, the Social Grant Society, yeah. And we did a few programs already this year with the underprivileged kids, and also the Olympic Day, part of the program as well with the kids.
My name is Michael C. from Hong Kong, originally from US, but from Hong Kong. I represented Hong Kong in the 1996 Olympic Games. Just tell you a little bit about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is probably everyone's been there before, but Hong Kong is the sports culture is something that we always try to develop, but as we know, maybe similar in many Asian countries, that education is very important, so it's quite hard often to convince parents how to let their children come into sports, but I think this is changing. Probably if I look back, I think Hong Kong's first Olympics was in 1956, and they didn't go to 1980 for the boycott. But I think we have around 300 to 350 athletes, and also some in the Winter Olympic Games, not very many, as you know, no snow in Hong Kong. But we have very few athletes, but it's also part of our development. In the last, I guess say in the last 20 years, Hong Kong has had some developments in working with athletes, and we have an athletes association. It's called the Elite Athletes Association, so they work with all different kind of athletes. But a few years ago, we did try to do some things through the our NOC, but I think it kind of got sidetracked. So I think this is a really good opportunity for us from Hong Kong to actually reestablish. And we have things for many of our athletes because we have many elite athletes, but at the same time, I think we have to honor and also recognize Olympians. And I think that they can have a good voice and also a very powerful tool through the WOA to be able to represent themselves and also make some changes in the society. So hopefully it will also link to our culture, but as changing the sport culture, but also, of course, like all of us, we try to strive to get more Olympic medals. Hong Kong has had, in our history, 3 Olympic medals only, so we're working on it. Anyway, thank you, and I hope to meet everybody.
Indonesian Olympians Association. Here with me is our Stephen Fernandez from Taekwondo. I competed in the 1988, 92, and 96 Olympics. Stephen was in the 1992 for Taekwondo. Glad we could make it. Our flight was delayed, but very glad to be here. The Philippine Olympians Association has been around since 2002. I'm currently the president, but we had our president, Art Macapagal, was president until 2014, until he passed on. Stephen is our treasurer. We've, typically every 4 years we have our General Assembly. Of late, we've been having a lot of sports clinics with the underprivileged. We also have our quarterly meetings, almost pretty much quarterly every year with our associations. We like to do a lot of send-offs for our athletes going to the Asian Games, to the Youth Olympic Games. We have worked as well with a Special Olympics, a small group. We have probably around 400 Filipino Olympians starting from 1924. Very few Olympic medals as well, probably around 5, 6, bronze, silver, right thereabouts, and 2 from the Winter Games. But yeah, we fortunately have a very good relationship with our NOC and our the government body that handles sports, which for us has been very vital.
First, let me take this opportunity to share my deep feeling with, the connection with badminton, with Indonesia, with Jakarta. Actually, as you know, badminton was very, very popular in Indonesia, especially during 1980s. That also my career. So I had a lot of unforgettable memories in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta. As I mentioned, actually people maybe in Indonesia, the age like myself, didn't like me because I took a lot of champions from their players. So I still remember that in the stadium, the crowd and the fans. So at the beginning, I think it was unbelievable how hard and how hot the weather in Indonesia. So they said, if you can win the champion in Indonesia in badminton, it means you are the real champion.
5 months ago, I just retired since Pyeongchang. So because my injured my knee, so I started learning skating since my 7 years old, and I get a gold medal in the Sochi Olympic Games. So I'm very excited and happy I can join this organization, and I hope I can do more about sport work in here, and I'm happy to know everyone. So that's all. Thank you.
Right, 2 to go. Chinese Taipei.
It's new, just building up in 1 year. But first, I will introduce our member, Secretary General, Mr. Du. He's the 4-time shooter, 4-time in Olympic. Yeah, and next is Lu. She is archer. Yeah. So, and Chinese Taipei Olympian Association, we just building up in 1 year, since 1917. And we have spent almost 2 years for all the work. Later, our Secretary General will present all things for everybody, how we do, how we do it. Okay, thank you.
I was a Chinese Taipei shooter. I passed 4 times Olympics, and now I'm retired. But Olympiad is just start. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now I'm introduce our organization. How CTOA organized start with the TV interview. 2 years ago, in New York, Hakka TV interviewed with Mr. Pen, a modern pentathlon Olympian from Taiwan, as well as a successful businessman. The interview just noticed by another ski Olympian, Mr. Sen, who also has been staying in New York for many years. Sen felt so excited and reached Japan which start up the contact and the care of few key Olympians in Taiwan. This is the picture in New York. In the middle one is the Mr. Pen, and the left one is the Mr. Sen. No. Wait. Sorry. Establish and create the highest value of Olympics. Thank you.
A hard act to follow, but we have someone who I think can follow that. Our final NOA introduction is India.
Olympians in the WOA. So in the next 2 days, I think we'll have a lot of interactions, and hopefully we can all help you get the NOAs activated, doing more programs for the Olympians and solve as many questions as we can. On the India side, we have a very new NOA, just 3 years old. And like everything in India, it was a very complicated beginning because we had 4 NOAs, and then Mike had the difficult task to choose which one to recognize. So fortunately, we were the ones who got recognized. But allow them to contribute to society and inspire the youth to pursue the spirit of Olympism. So we wanted the Olympians to get better in life so that they can give back to the society. So it's sort of a dual purpose. We first have to empower ourselves, then we can give back. If we start giving back without actually empowering ourselves, then everything stops at a certain time. So we basically said, okay, how do we do this? And we wanted to create a conducive environment for Olympians to share experiences with each other. So the networking became a very big part of our mission. We wanted to implement welfare schemes and imparting necessary skills to Olympians. And I'll come to how we are doing it now. Basically to create a better life for themselves. So we want to create better lives for Olympians. Because after sports, you are kind of going into the next life. And some of us are not equipped actually to make the transition. So we want to help the Olympians make the transition to equip ourselves. And then the third is how to impact the society as role models. So we ourselves have to become role models. It's not overnight. For some people it's, yes it is, but for 90% it is not. You need, even if you're a gold medalist, you need skills of media, of what do you do after the sport is over, otherwise everyone forgets you. So there are a lot of skills required even at the top of the sport, and we want to give that to the Olympians. So the values we have taken basically are the Olympic charter values, and we always strive to basically stay within these values, especially integrity. We believe that if there is an issue of integrity, then you should be a part of the NOA. And we are very strict about it. So that's very clear. We can move through this. We have a board of winter and summer Olympians, multiple Olympians. Myself, I did sailing in Olympics in 2004, and I was a coach in 2008. Our president Shiva, he'll be here later. He's a 6-time Olympian in Winter Olympics. We have a hockey captain. We have the athletics national champion. We have very different education programs we are running with the Tatas. And Tata has a very big history of education programs. So we have taken their programs and they are running it with us. So it becomes a little bit easier to run these programs. We do events like the Olympic Day events. We present videos, which India is a big country, so we are regionally in cities doing evening programs or Olympians getting together with some person outside the Olympic family to come and talk to us. Say a business leader or an education person or someone like that, to give a better perspective to what we do. And then the digital programs are really big. So we have a lot.
What happens? Who are you now? What happened to your support group? You had your coach, who is probably more important to you than your mother and your father, and suddenly the coach is on to someone else. We're running a series of mentoring programs where retired Olympians one-on-one can talk with those who are just about to retire or just retired. It's not really about telling them how to get a job or how to do anything. It's just for administration, to run an event, to print leaflets, to pay for someone to work on a part-time basis, whatever it might be. All you need to do is apply for it. You don't, it's a very simple form, and if people haven't applied for it, actually I've just realized I've been very rude. I haven't introduced our team. So let me introduce our team. Spreading the spirit of Olympism. Again, you can ask us about, it's easy to apply for. We did 6 last year. I think we're going to be doing 5 this year, and we can do 6 again. We'll see if we can make the budget stretch. We do try to do at least 1 from each continent, but if there's a good project, help an Olympian or a group of Olympians. So it could be, and we're not setting any rules, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. We're looking for you to come forward with suggestions. So for instance, I'll just tell you the one which has already been agreed from Africa, which is they're running a program called Champions in the Street, where they go to a small village, which they don't have very many facilities. Is that you get a certificate of recognition that you can print out and put on your wall or put wherever you like. And then there's the health survey, which we'll tell you a little bit more about later. There's never been a health survey looking at the long-term effects of elite competition on Olympians. There's been a lot of health work, there's been a lot of research done on performance enhancement. There's been a lot of work done on doping, which they think won't allow them to win, but maybe we can affect, if we can affect even one person and stop them from having some sort of a lifelong injury or living in pain or whatever, then I think it'll have been a success. So, in Asia, so far, for the health survey and for the OLY, here are the numbers. As you can see, Japan leads the table so far in responses to the health survey. Work to be done still. I'm sorry to have to report that the same in terms of numbers of Olympians, but at the end we'll probably do a chart which shows percentage, which is fairer, because if you only have 200 Olympians and you have 100, that's 50%, whereas if anyone in particular. So we changed the way the executive committee is elected. You have the 3 main officers elected at the General Assembly, which is the President, the Secretary General, and the Treasurer. And then we decided that each continent would elect 2 representatives, a male and a female representative, and therefore they would then be more closely bound to and eventually answerable, because they'd have to be re-elected by them, to each of the continents. So these are your 3 representatives on the executive committee, and so we, as I said, we have the 5 continental groupings. Because we changed the constitution in Moscow, it meant we didn't have time there to then hold separate meetings. So we had continental meetings of all the people who were already there in Moscow at the General Assembly, so it's a bit of a hybrid. It's a place, I mean, in the past, if Olympian, again, once you retire, you have no right to anything. Coming back to the Games, you have no accreditation. If you're working with your NOC or if you're high profile, you might have accreditation and you might get tickets and you might have a place that you can go. But that's not the case for most Olympians. So the Reunion Center, any Olympian can go at any time. It's open 12 hours a day. It's a place for people to meet, to socialize, to have meetings, to watch the games. We get all the feeds coming in to watch the games, to make new friends, to meet old friends, along with EY, who are our partners in Rio. So we have a lot of functions. We give away free tickets to Olympians. So we have a ticketing program with our tickets that we know about in advance so that people can apply for those tickets. Again, in our view, we think all Olympians should be able to, at a minimum, be able to apply for tickets before they go on sale to the general public to make sure that they can get the tickets that they want. Again, please, don't be shy. If you want anything.
And then go home.
You should get someone or a group of people to write some of the, see over here you've already started doing that, excellent. To write some things on your board, however you want to do it. So, let's start with this table here, which did NOA development. Who's, do you have one person presenting or? Okay, excellent.
So this penmanship was not mine, it was hers. I can't write that either. It's a matter of also when you have your election, but at some point you want to have an election to be fair and open. But do you do that right away in the beginning? Because if you do it right away, maybe everything goes south. So that was one of the things that was a challenge. Also, non-Olympians. You know, maybe some of the associations would like to invite non-Olympians to their NOA because maybe they have influence or maybe they have money. So this is something that is different in different countries. And we also have mentioned about whether if your country is Indonesia, but you have someone from India who is an Olympic athlete that lives in Indonesia, do you also invite them to if they would like to join? And then also competition. So competition being not the race competition, but more in terms of other organizations that are doing similar things to what you plan to do. How do you place yourself amongst those? Yes, so I think one of the main issues on our table was regarding about the relationship between the NOC and the NOA, and how are they, of course, independent bodies, but then how do you work together in a cooperative way? Funding, government, so the next question is about funding. So where do you get your funding? One of the, some of the solutions may be the sponsors, maybe private, maybe government, and again, that's not a solution, but this is, we need to find a solution for the funding. And then, of course, the media is very important because you need to be out there and to build up the reputation. So the media and also social media is a good way to do that. And then also having kids activities, because kids activities, nobody can say kids activities aren't good. So I think trying to show what the Olympians can do for the future generations, and then also becoming the role model through the OLY. And this is some of the things that challenges we saw, and then solutions. I can't say it's to give you a solution exactly, but these are some of the ways that we try to think about the solution. So,
excellent. Anything wants to add to this?
That we discussed was made of volunteer. It is a bit difficult sometimes to get volunteers in some part of our countries because of the time and the energy that the people can actually come and do something for the NOA. And we also felt that it's also not, it doesn't come naturally for people like what I'm facing in my country. It is not natural for us to do things voluntarily. Yeah, so it's a bit difficult sometimes. Image of Olympian and their value. It is discussed that some of the Olympians they are not valued, they are not highly valued, and the image of the Olympian is not being appreciated. Engagement of members. Sometimes it's also challenges. The challenge that we are facing is the engagement of the member. They themselves, they are not in line with their ideas, and they not communicate with each other frequently.
An event, instead of having many events, is really to identify one specific gathering to bring the Olympians together and have more participation, since a lot of the Olympians in our countries are quite passive. They read the messages, the news, but are quite reluctant to participate. So we thought of maybe having one big event and get the interest of the Olympians. And of course, building trust and relationship with the NOCs is very important, because we know that they have the support, and if we have their support, we can move much better. And using different media, so we discussed about communication, how we contact our members. And of course, there is Facebook, there is email, there are applications, but really establishing contact and identifying what we will say to them, not just anything, but really to filter the good information that is needed to bring the Olympians together. And as Mr. Ong had suggested also, part of the program is to establish social entrepreneurship, to give jobs to some of the Olympians who need, because not all the Olympians are quite well off or have good jobs. And this is part maybe of a plan to help them also. And of course, to help fund the associations, of course, we have friends, personal friends who can support through donations, and of course, corporate sponsors that can help as well.
Kind of figured out that is kind of a balance in most ways is that most Olympians need quite a lot of, I mean, not everyone is empowered enough to do everything. For instance, there are certain Olympians who have the capabilities of perhaps even getting involved in their local NOAs, while some others might not be that forthcoming. Some of them are a little backward. Some of them don't have the proper social skills. Some of them, if they are confronted by the media, don't know how to approach them. So the first challenge we looked at was, or we kind of identified, is that these individuals need to be empowered better, right? So the solution to that was we were looking at providing some kind of a training facility in the form of actually looking at getting the Olympians together, not just for fellowship and camaraderie in general, but also looking at having kind of events where we can give them some additional skills, a little training program. There wasn't even a criteria we looked at in identifying how we should sort out this issue, but we just went there. Some of the senior members went there and said, okay, she needs help, she needs some roofing sheets. She indicated that she has neighborhood help to get it fixed. So we stopped at that. But not every occasion is going to be that easy. There will be. So our solution to that was to raise awareness into the fact that there will be lots of people who are not email savvy. There will be people who are not on your WhatsApp group, right? So it's about identifying, assuming you are in a particular locality and you know, say, X is not email savvy and not, say, social media savvy for that matter. You need to inform so and say, listen, these people are in your locality. If an issue strikes, you need to be the contact point. So you need to be our contact point where you can go out to whatever the neighborhood and figure out what issues are there, so that at least we will be notified of them. So our solution was, as I said, raising awareness amongst ourselves that these issues are there and looking into better ways of communication. With regards to the third challenge we had was obviously the financial issues, which I think has a bearing on all these issues we'll be discussing today, but grants, private sponsorships, etc., etc. But another aspect we looked at, or we were discussing, is perhaps looking at trying to get information from other innovators.
Thank you very much. So, again, pretty much we're taking care of these two tables, all the Indonesian Olympians, all the red one. We do have, the biggest problem is life after sports. Life after sports, not just the Olympics, but we do have a local, the SEA Games or the Southeast Asian Games, in Philippines and maybe in East Asia Games. Sort of things like this is, yeah, the government are paying attention, but only for bonuses, incentives, if you win the gold. That's it. But not road to the SEA Games. We're a little bit envy with Mark. I know you have your the program, the SEA Games program, and Malaysia also have one of those 2-year program type of thing. We envy that kind of program. That we don't have that. We only have that bonus and incentives to do that. Again, life after sports. Again, being a role model. I think you talk about that, being a role model, how we're gonna go about it. Some of the Olympians are very successful in Indonesia, but not educational-wise, as far as whether they just done their high school, or they may be going to the college or some sort of a 2-year degree, things like that. So it's very low that we need. Education needs to be done, continuation. And one of the problem is, if you, for example, we got 4 gold medal right now at the Asian Games, and we got at least, berapa sih kita? 1,5 juta itu berapa US ya?
100 juta.
$120,000.
150.
110,000.
Things that we thought about is that society to NOAs or Olympians associations would be service to Olympians and its membership. Okay, like we're looking at boards C and Ian, great job guys, about identifying what we can do better for Olympians. And really, if we are Olympians here and we believe that we can do greater good in society and use sport as this vehicle for social change, we need to make sure that it's sustainable. And making sure that Olympians, through NOAs, that they're medically okay to continue doing the great work. They have jobs to be able to sustain the programs that they do, and they're fine in society. We know that once they're okay, they're then able to go out and do greater good in society, and that goes into the second definition of what we believe in society is. Maybe I'll just run a little bit before I pass the mic to Bapa. So with regards to society, right, we've identified who society is in relation to our own table here. We've identified the problems and limitations that we as NOAs face, some solutions that we can have to remedy some of these limitations, and with that I think we're able to then develop a sustainable and robust way for us to help society at large. Okay, thanks Alba.
Just to add a little bit, because we have different point of view between me, Mark and mine. Especially in Indonesia, we have this problem about recognitions. The reason why we put government here because we are actually recognized by the NOC. But the thing is, sometimes the NOC right now in Indonesia, NOC is basically powerless. So the main power is basically from the government.
A lot of what everyone was talking about came up in our conversations, but first on our list for service to society was funding. Where are you going to get the funds to finance all these projects? And just jumping to number 3 here, it says limited NOC support, especially if there is no relation or contact, because while on our table we're fortunate, Mr. Tan is also on the NOC and the NOA, so it's we were just saying that how important the support of the NOC is for funding projects. Participation of the Olympians, very hard to get. We're all volunteers, but we found, and even with us, it's just hard to get all the other Olympians to come and participate in the projects that we do have. Solutions, which was inspired also from what we heard earlier, is first to find ways to empower the Olympians such that they will want to give back and help support their NOA. And lastly, for those Olympians who are in a position of office or in a leadership position, to try and bring in more Olympians and do what they can in the positions they have for their fellow Olympians. That's it.
Lovely, thank you very much. This is brilliant. We have another couple of minutes before we need to finish off. So, taking these 3 topics together, we've heard from a lot of people, but is there anything from anyone who hasn't spoken they think that we've missed something, or that there is something they'd like to add to what we've had to say?
Quick one, which being in the movement 20 years, 1996. But in Peru, something I learned here is that I kept it system, keep it simple. This is so important for us, I think. And the other one is a partnership. We partner with others who have other resources. It doesn't have to be only finances. If we are available in other people's programs to add value, I personally feel this is very, very important.
All of these, obviously, the issues of funding, personnel, getting people to volunteer, relations with your NOC and with the government, which will be the workshop tomorrow, and how you find out, first of all, how you build your community of Olympians so that A, you find out what they want, but also find out what they need, particularly those who are a bit shy about coming forward or don't think it's their place or don't think that anyone can actually help them. And the whole idea as a community of people looking after each other, and so maybe taking the Sri Lanka example, if someone has a problem but they don't say anything, but a friend of theirs who's an Olympian knows and then tells the association. So it's this community building which is so important. And then providing services. So is it maybe different for different countries or different sections of your Olympians? Media training or communication skills, so people find it easier to go and do a job interview. Job interviews are scary. Trying to, if you want to be involved, standing up in front of a room of people like this is not necessarily easy. Standing up in front of a room of school kids is not easy. So being interviewed by radio or television, so we can figure out ways of passing on those skills. Maybe that would be helpful. So lots of things to think about. And I'm sure people want to continue this discussion over dinner, and we can talk about some more of this tomorrow as well. As I said, we'll take pictures of all these things and send them around, and we'll start off tomorrow morning with a little bit of a recap of today as well, and then go into the next workshop. So, about an hour to get ready before we head off for dinner. It's now, 5:30-ish. The bus will leave from downstairs at 6:30 in the lobby area. It's a really nice restaurant. We've been there. We haven't eaten the food, but we've been there. It looks very nice. As I said, it's about a 5-minute walk and about a 20-minute drive to get there, thanks to the one-way system and the way the traffic works. So are there any other messages that I need to give anyone? So Rebecca, Janina. Yeah? Hang on.
Very good idea. Janina is going to be setting up a WhatsApp group for the key people across Asia to support the work that she's doing and the work that Marab and his team are doing as well. So Janina will be responsible for coming around and taking some of your mobile numbers if you're happy to be engaged.
Okay, great. How are we going to know if everyone is there for dinner? Is everyone coming to dinner? Or let's put it another way, is anyone not coming to dinner? No? Good, okay. So, talking about this great community of Olympians, if you see someone who you know is coming to dinner and they aren't there, let us know so we don't leave anyone behind. And we'd like to leave at 6:30. So, be here a few minutes early, that would be great. Otherwise, thank you very much for today. I think it's been really useful. Thank you for the message here.
I'm pada yang pertama, terjatuhku seragam ikuti drama, karena terlena oleh pesona aura kopi padamu, karena terlena oleh pesona.
Pesona laki-laki.
You want a Chinese song?
Aura kopi daku.
Everyone, could I have your attention, please? Could I have your attention, please? I hope everyone enjoyed last night and the wonderful performances of singing and dancing that we saw. And so, Mal, do you want to get up and show everyone your moves now?
Yeah, Mama.
You said one more beer. You had more than one beer. Yeah.
Do we get a video, Mama?
There's always some excuse. Right, so, thank you very much. We're going to have another workshop today. We're going to talk about something which you all raised yesterday, which was NOC and NOA relations. And also we will have we have those OLY pins that I showed you last night. We'll be awarding later on to everyone. Again, some housekeeping. We did say that we would try to, for those of you who wanted to, when we were finished, those of you who wanted to go and see some sport at the Asian Games. So far, we have not been incredibly successful at getting tickets, i.e. we don't have any. So if there is anyone who does want to see some sport afterwards, we'll see what we can do, but at the moment, even though with our best endeavors, we haven't been able to get any tickets, so we'll see if we can, if there's some way that we can sort that out. But just to get a rough idea, how many people wanted to try and go and see some sport afterwards? If you raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are a number of different sources of funding. Yes, you can ask your members for funding, but that's usually difficult. It is possible to get funding from NOC or from your government, and if you don't know how to do that, we can certainly help you, and also the other associations in Asia can give you examples of how they do it. I think one of the big things out of yesterday was that being able to meet face-to-face like this is really useful. And certainly we can help, either from Lausanne or Javina here in Asia, or the Asian executive committee members who are here. But you can help yourselves as well by staying in contact with each other afterwards and talking to each other. You can give each other ideas for how to do things and how to sort out these issues. For us, again, just to repeat, we have 3 strands of grants in order to help you with money. So apply for the annual administration grant. It's basically $1,000 for free, and you can use it for whatever you like. You can use it to buy stationery if you need to. You can use it to help run an event. You can use it to maybe pay for someone for a few weeks to help sort out your database. You can use it to buy software if you need it, so that you can Olympians. So, and we're not saying it must be this or it must be that. So it could be a program that gives some education to an Olympians. It could be running a workshop, so how to do a CV, how to do a job interview, it could be media training, so that people feel comfortable in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, so they can go out and spread the word about what they do.
Public speaking.
It could be
public speaking.
Yeah, public speaking. All that sort of thing. Anything that you think would benefit your members. So it could be to pay to send some people off to, like, there might be an OCA workshop, or there might be an IOC forum or something, and you don't have the money to be able to send someone. So it could be for something like that. So basically, we're open to any ideas that you have, any way that you think that you can benefit your members. And as I said, we'll look to Fund 5, but we also might be able to find funds from the IOC or elsewhere to fund some more projects than that. So the difference is service to Olympians, projects that benefit Olympians, service to society, projects that are run by Olympians or run by you, which help benefit society. Share it with us and we'll share it with everyone. Or if you have a question, turn to your neighbor or a neighboring country or whatever and say, well, how would you do this? Or can we do it this way? Or what mistakes did you make? We should be, as well as building a community within your own country of your Olympians, we should be building the community of Olympians in Asia and also the community of Olympians all around the world.
The $1,000 is separate. That's something that you can apply for every year. And as long as you give us the basic, very, very simple information, which includes any updates to your officers and contact details, any updated constitutional paperwork, your plan from the previous year, your plan for the current year, we will be happy to give you that grant. So that's something that actually everybody is entitled to with a little bit of information. The other two strands, service to society and service to Olympians, those are what I would call the more competitive strands of funding. So the application deadline for those two strands of funding is actually at the end of this month. If you speak very nicely to Ayako, she may extend that. Ayako is pulling together currently all the applications that we've received already from around the world. This year we have budget to award 5 Service to Olympian grants and 5 Service to Society grants globally. So in our heads, we would like to spread that equally throughout the globe. So essentially, we have budget for 2 projects to be funded from within the Asia area. Obviously, if the strength of the Asian applications really outweigh the rest of the world, we may address the balance, but I think we won't know until we can evaluate all the projects. So Ayako is currently compiling all of the proposals. They will be read and evaluated by our team and by the grants panel made up of representatives from our executive committee. Again, a very equal spread from around the world, so we're not swayed in any direction. And then decisions will be made. So I think the timescales for that decision are probably end of September, beginning of October. The sooner we get the applications in, the better. So it is a short deadline, but we did launch about 2 months ago. So we have given people quite a lot of time already. But if you feel like you need another couple of days, I'm sure Yako will be able to accommodate that. But that will be her decision. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. So there's no dance contest, Olympian stuff to
donate so we can do more. Yes, the deadline for this year is then, but that doesn't mean you can't start thinking about next year, and there's always the possibility of us getting extra money at some point. So if you have a good idea, don't say, oh, I need to wait until next year. Talk to us about it, and maybe we can find some extra money. So don't feel necessarily constrained. If you want to get in, if you want to definitely be in this year's, then the deadline or the slightly extended deadline, but thinking about other possibilities, just tell us if you have good ideas. You think we can fund. Any other questions or comments before we move on? Okay, so I will we were talking about just want to return to this slide here. So again, make sure that people apply for both OLY and for the Olympian.org email. It's an easy and free way of you helping your members.
You can't do it more than once off the same device. So it will recognize if you've been into it already, and so it will prevent people from filling it out multiple times. I guess there is a slight possibility that someone could fill it out off their phone and computer, but I think chances are once you've done it once, you know you've done it, and you probably wouldn't want to do it again. If there is a prize, you didn't advertise the prize. 1 or 2, I think we're going to know 2 lucky winners will be invited to Lausanne to come and visit the team, to come and hang out with us, and to see the sites of Lausanne. So Lausanne is the Olympic capital, and we will be doing a prize draw for that.
This strategy, and then it's a financial support.
Okay. Just pass the mic around.
For me, making communication with the MCs to inform them that there is a group of very special people around who can help extend the Olympicity movement.
meetings between the NOA Asia and convention.
Requirements or even some benchmarks. I think that would be great because where to start.
In my opinion, firstly, should be a lot of athletes know this organization.
In short, two things. One is ask our local NOCs to chill out. Then, second thing I think is a regional. I think for us in South Asia, I think with what has happened in India and now Sri Lanka, we can help the other countries. Is to work with you all to help the other countries start something.
I think it says something a lot bigger because sometimes we ourselves is not recognized, fully recognizing it in our country. So,
True.
Sometimes.
I myself, communication. I mean, that's the best deal, I think, from obviously from Lausanne to all the way to Asia, to pretty much. But let me ask, is it okay? How about as far as helping out all the juniors athletes, how other countries be able to develop, especially for the junior athletes going into the either Tokyo 2020 to the Olympics? Right. Meetings like this is really important to be able to spread the ideas and obviously being connected to all around. Stable is WA able to help out as far as understanding. I mean, not being pressured so much, the Olympians. I mean, this name of the Olympians is already, it's heavy enough for the government and also for the NOC. So need to, they say, chill out a little bit. Same thing I think with the, I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much.
But so I think it's supporting communication skills and English. Yeah, because Japanese athlete almost do not speak Japanese, just English. Yes, yourself, just Japanese speak. So supporting communication skills.
I love the shirt.
It's been said, I really appreciate being here, meeting the other NOAs and learning from what they're doing, and also giving feedback. I mean, you're hearing some of our issues and kind of giving feedback to the RNOCs and the IOC. I think the more we communicate, maybe it'll sink in a little bit more for them too.
Hi, I think like that is as athlete, we all, as Olympian Association, we always try to do something for our young generation. So we don't want any conflict from anyone. So that's the main thing. Actually, we all are having the same problem. So if we have some kind of a solution for this NOC and NOA, that's the main reason I believe that we can do a lot of, we can get together. We believe that we can do a lot of things. Even we don't have funding, but we can get together. I think we can do a lot.
Sorry if my English is not too good, because I haven't been working with a lot foreign people. So I'm trying, I hope that WOA can help us, lead us how for the Olympians can recognized by the government, by the NOC, and also by the society in our country. Thank you.
I would say communication is number one, and increase substantially the number of grants. Thank you.
WOA sent a program 2019 to all NOA, the world, because perhaps we have some funding for that.
we will find a way to get closer with the Olympian family. And we will, maybe we are very slow, but we will never stop.
What, I don't know if it's kind of all-encompassing what I say, but if the WOA could set up some kind of, I don't know what you could call like a franchise package or development pack, where everything, the kind of things that we're talking about here, because some of you have already been doing for a number of years and still seem to have the same problems, that if we could have something like from where I am, like establishment, constitution, which you do have, but then frequently answer questions about all the things in the problems that all you're facing, and put it in a package so that actually those people that are developing could just give it to you and they answer a lot of questions. So I don't know if that's something that would be helpful, but I think for me it would.
It is very difficult to get protection in the form of insurance. Can we get a recommendation from WOA for us to continue to the sponsors? Because souvenir or something I get it from WOA, we can continue with our sponsors.
So we want to work together with our NOC and Sri Lanka Olympians, and if we work together, we can spread Olympism for kids. And my dream is to win third Olympic medal, Sri Lanka.
The more we work with them, the more resources we have, the more we can do for our members. That's you. And the more you can then do for your members. Or like New Zealand, they have different models. In New Zealand, it's actually one and the same organization. In Australia and the US, they're separate organizations but very close, with funding from the National Olympic Committee.
On our delegations, automatically become a member of the OAJ since the Sochi Olympics. So I'm automatically a member. So. And then, you know, just Daichi, you know, as a gold medalist in the Seoul Olympics in the 100-meter backstroke, right? And I'm sending events in the backstroke. And then he is my older brother because of same coaching. Oh. Yeah. So just started here. Next slide is. Just activity, introducing sliders. OAJ activities, Olympian Union Party as a so, and then, so quickly, sorry. For us, for support from JOC is provided, including organization and administration. Yes, and Miss Mikako Kotani, as ex-member of the WA since 2017. As a board directors of OAJ and the JOC. It's connected to JOC and then OAJ and something and national federations. Yes. And she becomes a bridge between including mutual reporting. Yes. As a very important people in the Olympic connection. Okay. And our offices are located in the same building. Yeah, where almost all the sports and events are located. Same buildings, all things included. We are moving into the new building. Yes, very exciting building. Constructions is building up right now. The Japanese Olympic Museum, which will be built by the May 2019. Yes, almost coming. So very new, very new. Yes.
People who are on both the NOC and the NOA or on the same committees, it's about personal relationships, just like anything really. So the stronger that you have personal relationships with people who are either work for the NOC or are elected to the NOC or work with them, the more chance there is that you can do projects together and that they will support you. Same with the WOA. we have one of our executive committee members becomes automatically a member of the IOC Athletes Commission, and elevator or a lift, and you've got 30 seconds to pitch to someone from your NOC about why they should work with you, what benefits you can bring to them. What are the 2 or 3 things that you would say to them? Okay, so if you discuss that on your table for a bit, talk for about 20 minutes or so, and then put your answers on the board, and we'll do the same thing as we did yesterday with the report backs. So your time starts now.
In the form of insurance, especially for health and life insurance. So that's why we are in our group want to the WOA give the recommendation letter for us to continue to get sponsors, our sponsors like this. Maybe given for the souvenir or anything else for WOA. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Right.
This program is not good this year, but next year program we got this year. So we have time to get any sponsor for it.
Deputy Minister or something. So this is the 5-8 seconds window opportunity. So introducing ourselves, obviously, because just a good sample of it yesterday. Madam Helen doesn't really recognize all the Olympians, and so on, like several of them. So introduce ourselves as Olympians and tell them that, you know, ready to serve. I mean, come down to serve the NOC or the government ministerial office, whatever, to serve within the program and system, obviously, and whatever program they have, we will be able to come down, you know, individually and keep it low. Because again, I think the vibe of Olympians are intimidating somehow, so I think that's the best thing. I mean, again, this is a 5 to 8 seconds window, and you need to introduce yourself, and you're trying to pitch.
Do you want to do a translation of that as well, or does everyone on your tables already
this is
know?
from them.
Right. Okay. Great. Good. Excellent. Thank you for that.
With Singapore, Mr. Tan was telling us that he felt like they had nothing to offer because, you know, they're only, of their board members, they only have 3 people who are actually active, and yeah, and that, whereas with in Sri Lanka, she was saying they have, you know, here their NOA is like, we're here, we'll do anything you know, but the NOC is just on the verge of banning their NOA. And then in Japan, they have this booming NOA where they actually have a registration fee, yearly registration fee for all their members in the NOA that they pay. And so it was a really kind of, all of us were just not all on the same page as to what we could offer, but we all agreed that, you know, Olympians were role models, you know, examples of excellence, and that we have people, people know us, and so that, you know, media, that draw, that attraction, and we just agreed that all our NRAs would be happy to support any NOC function, and possibly jointly organize, because I was sharing with in our case in the Philippines, we have conducted things on our own. You know, we've gone out of our way to seek sponsors. So we can do it on our own, but it becomes a much smaller affair. So we just said that, yes, we were happy to support any of our NOA activities, and we can jointly organize, but we cannot, I guess, organize it on our own. Is there anything else? Did I miss?
Thank you. Actually, like I will say that in Singapore like that, in Japan have their own fund. In Sri Lanka, mainly have a main power of famous to fix the system about the sport and education. What we are doing now is because our vice president, the president of IOA is one of the legislative position in our government. So next year we also have some Olympians. We support the Olympians members who have the ability to join the legislative position in our government. It helps so much things that we can fix the system of education and sport, so we can work together. Not only support, but we are organize the programs of sports in our country. Okay.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Think the willingness to help. I mean, like we can actually offer or help, so we can be very, modest and low profile about it, and then really asking for help. Because if we go as olympiade, we're a champion and blah blah blah, and basically in our case, in our country, they feel threatened, and then they will actually push you away, and it's not going to be work much done. Okay, so I think it's willingness to help in either any sport activity or any Olympian activity, or even trying to organize or help them in with some paperwork's done and stuff like that. Second about probably branding, because we can help with branding the program, kind of thing like that, because I'm pretty sure they all need a role model or a brand, so we can offer ourselves as a brand, because some of us may be like the famous badminton player and everything like that, everybody knows them, so we can be their brand ambassador kind of thing. And most importantly for me, I think it's connections. And I think it's very important, like for us now, this year, we're doing much more, because our president is actually one of the members in the parliaments and everything. So I think connection, it's very important. If we can get more people in the power positions to actually influence the government and stuff like that, then we can do much more. So thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you.
Hello, I'm very busy. I need to focus on performance and leading sport in our country.
I know that, Ms. President, but I have something to offer. We can serve you a lot. We can be your brand ambassador, and we can promote any of your activities, and even go to grassroots. And mentoring all your elite athletes. So it's not a problem for you, as you are very busy. Who is a very successful businessman and so on, like Mr. Ong. He can actually fund you. He can sponsor you and even be part of your partners. And of course, because of your busy schedule, we can actually do your event and also your activities, such as the Olympic Day, because it's very important for the IOC. And we are there to help you, and we can organize a program for you. And also the National Olympic Academy, we can promote all your program and activities through that program itself. Do you like that?
That's good for us,
Things that they like. The IOC, through Olympic Solidarity, has a lot of money to invest in NOCs around the world and their projects. Not every NOC understands what all the projects are and how they can apply for them. And we know that a lot of the grants aren't given out every year because not enough people apply for them. So you can say to your NOC, we can help you to apply for Olympic Solidarity grants because the WOA and the IOC work very closely together. So in order for you to have more money, this is the second time that we've done something like this in Asia, and we hope to do this you've been a bit of a guinea pig, we like to do this in other continents as well. So we'd like to hear about what you found to be useful, what was good, what we could improve on, what you'd like to see in future workshops. And as you can see, Tony, we're going to show everyone how good that's what it looks like. Okay, so shake hands, look at the camera, smile. There we go, excellent. So there we go. There we go. Sheila's just come in from the airport. Change of direction. Face the camera, turn and face the camera, smile, pretend you're happy. Okay, face the camera. That's it, smile. Forever. Okay, thank you. Excellent. There you go. There you go. Lovely. Okay, look at the camera, smile, pretend you're happy. Look at the camera, smile, there we go. Look at the camera. There we go. Hang on, make sure that was up. Does everyone have a look? Good? Yeah. Okay, point the one right leg forward. Good, okay, good. There you go. Come this way. Okay, face all the way forward. That's it. Face that all the way forward, face the all the way. Excellent, good. Okay, point method, point forward. There we go.
Already? Done? Thank you.
Face forward, perfect. Are we doing them one at a time? Okay, no competition. Obviously, thank you to the WOA staff and to all of you. Tony, if you'd like to say a few official thank yous, and then we'll have Mallow speak for a second.
Yes. I want to thank you very much for all the Olympians being here. This is our second Olympians Association in Asia. And one of the important things that we would like to tell all of you that in order for us to be able to do all of these programs we are having, it's very important that you do the work. We are creating all the tools, we are creating all the ways, but you are the ones who have to go to your countries and do the work. Really, that's extremely important. We have started this health study. It is the first time in Olympic history that together with the IOC, the Olympians are doing this study in order to know what happens to an Olympian after his career. So in order for this study to be serious and correct, we need you, because we don't want just people to fill out the answers. We want Olympians to fill out these answers. And we want Olympians to gather information properly and correct information. Because at the end, this study will help future athletes and will help the IOC to know what's happening to us, to our bodies, after we finish this Olympic career or our Olympic and we are now involved. We have this OLY, use it, be proud of it. It's really working. A lot of people, not a lot, only Olympians can use it. And really it marks a difference in your curriculum, in everything, because at the end, Olympians are very few people that have achieved this fantastic opportunity. It's extremely important to have this type of meetings. It's extremely important to have the possibility to share ideas, to talk between us. I want to thank very much the Indonesian Olympians Association for this fantastic job. We need to do it together. We need to arrange situations. We need to work together. Because if we are not able to work together, the things that we would like to achieve would really not happen. Contact, use the OLY, use your olympic.org email address, sign up, and let's work for our health survey to continue this good job. We Olympians have a lot here. Congratulations and thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony.
Very little appreciation that giving us a chance, to help the Olympian Association meeting for the second time in Asia, and hopefully we all gather and work together for in the future. Especially, I would like to thank you, of course, to Tony to come down over here, Mike, and everyone. I couldn't say each of you, everyone are here. And I'm really appreciate, and also all my friends, all the OLY Olympian, all the Indonesian, all the Asian, and just like to say, have a nice day here, have a nice staying, and also enjoy the Asian Games. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite...
Again, thank you very much to all the Olympians for coming, and thank you to all Olympians for supporting Asia. I think with 3 Olympics in 4 years, with Pyeongchang, Tokyo and China, the focus of the world and the Olympic movement is on Asia. So it's up to us to become stronger in Asia. So I think with Jovina coming full time on this project with us, and with the support of Mike and Rebecca and the rest of WA, what we'll try and do is first keep in touch with all of you regularly. That's very important. We will try and get the best practices from the world, which we can put in Asia. But to be, just to emphasize, everyone and every NOA is different. There is no one fit all solution. So we are going to tailor make solutions which fits the particular country. The NOA-NOC relations are very different in different parts of Asia. Very different cultural differences, which the programs will be very different. There may be some commonalities, but we'll have to adapt to our own countries. So I think we are aware of that. We know Asia, we are Asians, and I think we'll have to help each other, I think, become better. We will have more of these sort of networking sessions. Maybe not everybody, but in small groups, but more frequently, so that we can start helping each other.
We often talk about the Olympic movement. You are the Olympic movement. You are Olympians, you are people who've strived and worked hard to get to the Olympics. You have the power and determination to do that, and you can use that power in order to change. Working together, we can make a big change, and we can fulfill the dreams of Pierre de Coubertin, who founded the modern Olympic movement in order to make the world a better place in order to create better people by bringing people together so they understand each other and so that they don't want to fight each other and so that they can be fit and healthy and well educated. Thank you so much for all the hard work you've put in already and for all the hard work you're going to put in going forward. And we really look forward to working with you. As Tony said, we're here for you. If you need anything, don't be shy, don't be afraid to ask. And thank you so much for your time and your interest and your dedication over the last couple of days. This has been great for us. I hope it's been great you coming, and we look forward to working with you and seeing you as we go forward. There's lunch outside, so thank you very much.
Good day to everyone. My name is Steven Fernandez. I'm from the Philippines and a former athlete of Taekwondo. I'm here in Indonesia to partake in the second Asian World Olympians meeting. And it's such a pleasure to be here back in Jakarta after many years that I was a competitor. I would like to also congratulate the organizing committee of the Asian Games for a very successful holding of the event. And more power to everyone in Indonesia, and I hope to be back sometime in the future. Thank you very much.
Nama saya Sylvia Christina, saya dari cabang olahraga Agar, mengikuti Olimpiade pada tahun 1988 di Korea. Harapan untuk Olympian ke depan ini, kita berharap akan lebih baik lagi. Karena ini adalah yang kedua meeting kita, yang lalu kita sudah pernah mengadakan, ini yang kedua. Ya, kita berharap untuk ke depan Olimpian ini lebih lagi kita bisa berbuat untuk olahraga adik-adik kita, supaya kita bisa meng-create mereka tidak hanya sampai di SEA Games ataupun Asian Games, paling tidak mereka juga bisa sampai ke Olimpiade, sehingga kita bisa banyak Olimpian dengan pimpinan dari Ibu Yayu Basuki.
Halo, apa khabar Indonesia? Saya Nurasila Muhammad Khalid daripada Malaysia, terlibat dalam Sukan Olimpik tahun 2012 di London. Saya rasa sangat bangga dan juga sangat gembira dapat bersama semua untuk sesi apa yang kita buat untuk 2 hari ini bersama National Olympians Association, WOA. Dan saya rasa rancangan ini sangat sesuai untuk semua Olympian di Asia, dan saya berharap kita dapat bekerjasama dan dapat memajukan lagi sukan di Asia dan juga ke semua Olympian, memastikan mereka ada kerjaya yang baik dan kita dapat menyumbang dari pelbagai segi untuk ke semua sukan dan juga atlet di masa hadapan. Terima kasih.
Hello everybody, I'm Ong Ming Yi, come from Chinese Taipei Olympian Association. Intended this meeting, I am very happy, and this meeting is very successful.
Hi, my name is Akiko Thompson Guevara from the Philippines, swimming. I swam in the 1988, 1992, and 1996 Olympics, and I just want to congratulate Indonesia for such a successful hosting of the Games and wish all the athletes the best of luck.
Selamat pagi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Lukmani Ode, Olympian tahun 84 di Los Angeles, sudah lama sekali. Tapi harapan kami, khususnya dari saya sebagai sekjen daripada Indonesian Olympians Association, dengan adanya yang kita lihat di sini ya, the second WOA secara Asia dan dalam road to Asian Games ini, mudah-mudahan dapat memberikan satu dampak yang sangat baik buat kita semuanya, terutama untuk masyarakat Olimpiade atau Olympian Indonesia sendiri, yang kami mempunyai 274 Olympian selama Olimpiade berlangsung dan selama Indonesia ikut serta di dalam Olimpiade sejak tahun 1952 sampai sekarang, dan kita akan menuju untuk Tokyo Olimpiade 2020. Nah, dengan ini kami khususnya mengharapkan bukan hanya Olimpian yang diberikan motivasi ataupun informasi-informasi dasar dari Olimpisme, yaitu dibawa langsung daripada Swiss dan dari WOA sendiri, World Olympian Association. Kami bermaksud juga adalah bagaimana untuk spread Olimpisme ini kepada seluruh masyarakat dan juga pastinya adik-adik kita, anak-anak kita, junior-junior yang baru-baru ini yang sedang bertanding di Asian Games, dan juga untuk mencapai bagaimana dapat berkualifikasi menuju Tokyo 2020. Dan bukan hanya untuk Olimpiade 2020, juga untuk Olimpiade Paris 2024 dan Olimpiade 2028 di Los Angeles. Jadi kita berbicara adalah 8 sampai 12 tahun mendatang. Mudah-mudahan musyawarah ataupun yang dikatakan workshop ini dapat berlangsung dengan baik dan kami bisa mendapatkan inti-inti pesanan-pesanan dari IOC dan juga dari WOA sendiri. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here in Indonesia. It's been a fantastic event. I am sure we're going to mark a difference between yesterday and tomorrow with the Olympians Association from Asia. We know the importance of the region, and that's why we are here, and we're sure that what we are doing in this moment will be of an important difference for all of us.
Great. As Secretary General of the WA, the World Olympian Association, coming down from IOC, obviously, the Olympism that you're trying to spread to all the Olympic movement, the spirit of Olympics and stuff like that, then especially with the Olympism, what are the key messages that you trying to bring as a global, obviously from the Asia region?
One of the important issues and one of the important things we want to spread and share is the power that Olympians have. Olympians from the past, Olympians from the present, and what can Olympians do to share the Olympic message. We all know the importance and what Olympism does. But what is important in this moment is for us to share this message. And there is no better channel to share the message than doing it with Olympians, with people who know not the story, but have lived it and know how to share it. So that's what we are doing. We are making our national Olympians associations around the region more stronger, with better coordination with our National Olympics Committee, that it's extremely important, in order also for the National Olympic Committee to have an organization of Olympians on their hand to help them share the values that we all want. At the end, we all want a better world with sports, because we know that's the way to do it.
Right. You mentioned earlier, which is the last questions, you mentioned earlier that how important Asia to become part of the globalization of Olympism. Well, how you going to take about that?
I think that all parts of the world are important. There is no part more important than the other. But in this moment, Asia is one of our focus that we are working on, because we know that Asia in this moment is a potential. It's a potential in the Olympic movement, and we want to make sure that Olympians are part of this new area. And we know that Olympians are extremely important to help the different national Olympians committees to work in order to share this message and share the spread and share Olympism around the world.
Yeah. Any last message for us here in Indonesia?
And congratulations for the people of Indonesia. You have done a fantastic job. You're doing a fantastic work with Olympians. Each Olympian I met here knows what to do, knows how to share the message. I can only say congratulations. You've done a fantastic job. Let's continue with the work, and I'm sure that together we will achieve all the objectives we have.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
My name is Jovina. I'm from Singapore. I work for the World Olympians Association. This has been a great event hosted by the Indonesian Olympian Association. It's my first time in Jakarta, and it's been a great experience. So I look forward to other future events.
I'm come from Taiwan. Because we are a new country in the WOA. So we come here to learn some more from the ANOA, and we hope we just like Indonesia, we learn a lot from this meeting.
So we are from Sri Lanka, and we are first time in Asian Congress. We are happy to be in parallel this Asian Games, this Congress, because we don't have experience, and we can get experience from WA members and Asian the other countries. So we did many things in Sri Lanka Olympians, and we hopefully do more activities in Sri Lanka, and we want to look after Sri Lankan Olympians' welfare, and we want to spread Olympism in Sri Lanka. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih karena kita sudah diundang ke tempat ini, yang mana suatu wadah pertemuan antara semua mantan atlet Olimpik. Wadah ini kita harus ikuti supaya sebagai salah satu silaturahim untuk kita atlet Olimpik ini. Sebelumnya perkenalkan, nama saya Hermansen Balo dari cabang olahraga tinju. Olimpik tahun 96 sama 2000. 96-nya di Atlanta, USA, dan yang kedua di Sydney, Australia. Terima kasih.
Halo, nama saya Lapena Masara. Saya dari atlet boxing. Saya Olimpian tahun 96, Atlanta, dan tahun 2000 Sydney, Australia. Kesan saya dalam acara ini adalah acara yang sangat baik untuk mempererat hubungan antara Olimpian sedunia dan Asia. Jadi acara ini sangat berguna untuk membagi informasi dengan teman-teman yang ada di seluruh dunia. Jadi saya berharap acara ini selalu dibuat setiap tahun lah untuk di seluruh Indonesia, seluruh dunia menurut saya. Terima kasih.
Halo, nama saya Hendrik Simangunsong dari cabang olahraga boxing. Saya Olimpian dari tahun 92 di Barcelona dan 96 di Atlanta. Khusus dalam acara ini saya sangat bangga sekali pribadi dengan adanya kita berkumpul mantan-mantan Olimpian ini. Seperti apa yang dikatakan teman-teman juga, menjalin silaturahim dan katakanlah berbagi informasi sesama atlet, dan mudah-mudahan kedepannya akan lebih maju lagi, akan lebih gebiarnya lebih besar lagi lah daripada ini.
Nama saya Lukas Jakaria dari cabang olahraga fencing atau agar. Saya Olimpian tahun 1992 Barcelona. Kesan dalam acara ini adalah acara kekeluargaan untuk memotivasi adik-adik junior seluruh cabang olahraga dan dapat mempererat komunikasi antar mantan-mantan atlet se-Asia dan dunia.
Ya, nama saya Pino Bahari dari cabang olahraga tinju atau boxing, Olympians tahun 96 di Atlanta, USA. Ya, bagi saya acara World Olympians Association ini sangat baik sekali untuk mempererat hubungan antar para Olympian seluruh dunia, di mana setiap negara sekarang sudah terbentuk Wadah Olympians untuk setiap negara. Jadi kita punya Indonesian Olympians Association dan kami berharap dengan sering diadakannya kegiatan oleh World Olympians ini bisa mempererat hubungan antar peserta olahraga dunia, terutama para Olympians, untuk menjalin hubungan selain komunikasi, membagi informasi, dan kita harapkan semangat Olimpisme ini boleh kita sebarkan ke masyarakat dunia internasional. Nah, khusus Indonesia, kita harapkan juga dengan adanya Olympians ini kita bisa membantu meningkatkan atau memotivasi adik-adik calon penerus perjuangan bangsa kita ini di dunia olahraga, supaya mereka bisa berprestasi lebih tinggi dan siap untuk menggantikan kami sebagai generasi penerus. Ya kiranya Tuhan memberkati. Terima kasih.
Nama saya Emma Tahapari, atlet cabang dari atletik. Dengan acara ini kami ingin sekali olah lebih maju dan pasti bisa dapat membantu junior-junior kita untuk memajukan juga event-event yang lebih besar dari Olympian. Karena saat ini Olympian adalah IOA ini yang kita harapkan yang the best.
Kami dari Olympians dari cabang olahraga tenis meja. Perkenalkan, sebelah kiri saya Tony Meringgi, Olympian tahun 1988. Saya sendiri Anton Suseno, Olympian 92, 96 dan 2000. Sebelah saya Ling Agustin, Olympian 92 dan 96. Dan sebelahnya Ling adalah Rosi Sebubakar, Olympian 92, 96. Kami di dalam acara ini berharap satu adalah komunitas Olympian bersatu, kemudian kita ikut melebarkan nilai-nilai luhur Olimpisme. Harapan kami semua adalah satu lebih menyebarkan lagi nilai-nilai luhur Olimpisme, dan harapan satu lagi adalah lebih banyak lagi atlet-atlet tenis meja khususnya untuk menjadi Olympian seperti kami.
Saya Ling Agustin, Olympian Asia Pasifik 1992. Saya bangga jadi Olympian.
Halo, saya Rosi Pratiwi Dipoyanti. Saya atlet tenis meja. Saya Olympian tahun 1992 dan 1996. Terima kasih.
Saya Anton Suseno, Olympian tahun 1992, Barcelona 1996, Atalanta dan 2000 Sydney. Saya bangga jadi Olympian.
Saya Tony Meringgi, Olympian tahun 1988 di Seoul. Olympian, yes.
Bernasution, saya Olympian dari cabang olahraga renang dan kami sedang mengikuti World Olympian Association meeting yang dengan harapan membangun daripada asosiasi Olympian untuk bisa menjadi satu inspirasi bagi kemajuan olahraga di Indonesia. Jadi mudah-mudahan itu bisa terjadi sehingga ya disinilah kita akan berembuk gimana untuk kedepannya sport di Indonesia, pengembangan sport di Indonesia dan peran kami, apa yang kita bisa bantu dalam hal tersebut. Terima kasih.
Nama saya Dede Herawati dari cabang atletik nomor 100 meter gawang Olimpiade Beijing tahun 2008.
Nama saya Emma Tahapari, cabang atletik nomor lari saya 400 meter, ikut Olimpiade tahun 1984 di Los Angeles.
Saya Surya Wibowo, pelari 100 meter Olimpiade Beijing 2008. Harapan kami semoga banyak atletik yang termotivasi untuk bisa berlaga, bertanding, membawa nama Indonesia di ajang Olimpiade selanjutnya.
Mudah-mudahan ya dengan adanya acara ini jadi sesuatu harapan yang baru. Maksudnya ada program-program lagi yang lebih progresif untuk peningkatan prestasi Indonesia tentunya. Terus harapannya kami bersinergi dengan pemerintah untuk program-program yang akan datang. Banyak hal sih, maksudnya Olympic movement, terus nilai-nilai Olimpisme yang harus kita junjung tinggi. Nah, terus kita juga program-program yang nanti akan disampaikan di sini mudah-mudahan bisa terrealisasi dan jadi motivasi dan ya bersinergi dengan pemerintah itu. Terima kasih.
Nama saya Sri Indriani, saya atlet angkat besi Olimpiade Sydney 2000. Saya mendapatkan medali perunggu.
Belum. Saya Fatmawati, atlet angkat besi, Olimpiade tahun 2004 di Athena. Saya bangga dengan adanya kegiatan Olimpian ini karena kesempatan bagi kami untuk memotivasi atlet junior-junior kami yang akan bertarung terutama di Asian Games dan kejuaraan-kejuaraan lainnya.
Nama saya Elsa Manora Nasution. Saya dulu ikut Olimpiade Sydney tahun 2000, hanya satu kali. Harapan untuk ikut acara ini agar semua nggak hanya Olimpian ya, hanya para atlet bisa berkarya di dunia nyata selain berolahraga.
Saya dengan Sheni Ratna Amelia, ikut Olympic Games tahun 2000 di Sydney, sama juga dengan Kak Caca, lebih akrabnya dipanggil Kak Caca. Ikut sekali aja. Terus untuk acara ini harapannya kita para atlet, mantan atlet Olympians khususnya bisa teredukasi tentang bagaimana kehidupan setelah kita menjadi mantan atlet, apa yang bisa kita persembahkan selain dulu kita berjuang untuk mengharumkan nama bangsa di bidang olahraga menjadi seorang juara, tetapi ini setelah kita tidak bisa mempersembahkan medali, kita bisa berbuat apa yang lebih juga untuk negara. Terima kasih.
Halo, nama saya Santia Trikusuma, atlet cabang balap sepeda, cycling mengikuti Olimpiade Athena tahun 2004. Harapan saya dengan mengikuti kegiatan World Olympic Association ini agar ke depan para Olimpian, atlet-atlet yang akan berlaga ke depannya bisa menjadi lebih diperhatikan dan ada masa depan yang lebih jelas lagi ke depannya. Dan harapannya juga kepada para Olimpian bisa memberikan pengalaman, experience-nya kepada atlet-atlet muda junior.
Taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses.